Hey, good evening, saints and targeted individuals. You might not know it, but you are one of God's chosen. I wanted to come on looking as hideous as I look, no makeup on, crying literally since last night. And it's like, what time is it? It is 7:47. 7:47. That's even cool. Awesome, Lord. 7:47. We're going to fly out of here, saints. We're about to go. I felt led to come on and not even hide my face as far as, because I've been crying and look like poop. But I wanted to give encouragement out there because the last few videos I did today were all about poor me and, my boyfriend was a stalker and how mean all the bad stuff that's been happening to me and everything. And I was just really, really overwhelmed and, backslid, went back to drinking and all that. And I've been praying and asking the Lord today, what is going on? Help me get out of this, because it was like a severe depression that I think I might have felt it one other time like that, but not this long. This has been for a while. And if y'all listen to one of my other videos, which I think was the first one I posted this morning, I was talking about these attacks have been the worst I've ever endured. These attacks from Satan and his people ever. And I mentioned that they started, it seems like it was about a month ago. And then I also mentioned on my targeting that wherever I move, within about 2 weeks is the most I get. Usually it's between 1 and 1.5 weeks. One time it was 2 whole weeks they gave me. I still had problems, with the stalkers and all that around me. But where it's like really ramped up is usually within about 2 weeks. They've taken over wherever I live. Like all the neighbors become gang stalkers. Anyway, what is so amazing and exciting is that the Lord, even though I'm still sad, I'm not sad for me anymore. He's already taken that away, that hurt about, my boyfriend and all that. The rest of the people aren't as hurtful to me as somebody that actually you were with, that you loved. And so now it's just like it's a sadness. I'm crying, but it's a crying gratefulness because the Lord has refreshed my spirit again, and a sadness for all the people that are going to perish. And what I wanted to put out there was, man, didn't want to cry on this one. Anyway, been real emotional here. It's been an emotional roller coaster this past month. But the Lord led me to Sarah ForthCalling, her video. And it was just a minute ago, which is why I'm putting this out there, because it was so amazing what she talked about. She says, I don't want to take away from her because she's the one that came up with it, through the Lord, of course, through our Father. He downloaded to her, and then she talks about a sister Geo. I don't know what something 444. But anyway, that we're in the 40 days of testing in the wilderness, saints. That's what it is, and it totally fits the timeline. She said that her and her sister in Christ came up with the date January 26th. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, that is right on target. Target! My least favorite store. Anyway, it's right on target because I moved out of where me and my boyfriend lived on January 15th. And if you listened to my video earlier today, I said my targeting started about a week and a half later, which would put it around January 26th. Is that not cool? So we're being tested for the 40 days in the wilderness. This is a bet between God and Satan. Is he going to be able to steal some of God's chosen elect? Remember, it says in the Bible that if the days were not shortened, even the very elect would be deceived. Then I wanted to give y'all some encouragement. Yes, I went back to drinking and was out in the bars for about the last couple weeks. Not every night, but every other night. And just looking for somebody to talk to. And every single person that I met, I'm really not exaggerating, that would actually strike up a conversation with me was a gang stalker, perpetrator, basically working for the enemy is what they are. Some of them might not even know they're doing it, but they're put there to sharpen us and have us go through the fire. And that was the whole point of being sent to my boyfriend. His purpose was to sharpen me, inflict as much pain because they want to infiltrate you from within, right? Just like Jesus, just like all the disciples in the Bible. They were all persecuted saints. And yeah, that's the whole thing about, I kept thinking, why is all these people hate me all of a sudden? And they're coming out of the woodwork, just being, bizarre things have been happening to me. People are saying like the weirdest, a lot of mean things. One lady actually started like staring at me, came over and called me some bad names because I said, God bless you. I won't even say the names because I'm not going to give her. It didn't bother me. I laughed and then I said, God bless you. God bless you. And she kept on like saying this out of the blue. It was like a schoolyard bully. That's really what it was, but it was just way, way more bizarre. Anyway, here's some few cool stories to encourage y'all persecuted saints out there. What has happened to me, even when I'm in the bars, and I know that's Satan's kingdom. I know that. The whole world is Satan's kingdom, but I'm in his camp when I'm in those places. Even when I'm in there, do you know what I'm doing in there? I'm witnessing. I will witness to people while I'm in the bar. All I want to do is talk about the Lord. I want to talk about Jesus Christ's return. I want to share with people what I know and give them hope. And maybe just one will turn to God, But I know I'm probably not a really good example when I'm out there drinking, but that's the thorn that is in my side that I've had. That I don't know why I haven't been freed from that bondage. I'll be free for 4 or 5 months and then it'll hit me again. But yes, I'll be witnessing. And I'll also have people come up to me and say these strange things. And when that girl came up and said those mean things to me for no reason, I had not been witnessing yet. I had just got in there. And I'm thinking, how do they know me? Well, like I can sense them. I've always been a seer. And I can sense them. I can sense the darkness. They can sense the light, right? And my other story I talked about, if y'all listened to one of the ones this morning, when I confronted 2 perpetrators, the little kid, well, not little, but 25-year-old, when I confronted him, and then I talked about the guy that was in the red hoodie that jumped up on the park bench next to me, and then he told me, I don't even know if I said this part, but he goes, I want to tell you a dream. I want you to tell me what you think it means. And I instantly knew what it meant. But before I told him, he said, you're a seer. You see things. He didn't even know me. And I'll have stuff like that, like confirmation from the Lord that that's part of my gift. But, yeah, I had a couple of cool things happen and a couple of weird things. There was this older man that was in one of the bars that I went to. And he comes in right after I got there, positioned himself right next to me, and then was like staring at me. You know how you can feel somebody looking? And then we started talking. I don't remember about what. And I somehow involved the Lord in it because it's in everything I do. All I want to do is talk about him and share his joy, share all the good things he does, not just going through these trials, but he's always there. He always lifts me out of it. He always saves me when I ask. And that's what I needed to do today. I needed to seek him and pray to him, and he's helped me. He's given me a joyful spirit again. I can't even believe it. I'm so grateful. But this man's looking at me, and then, we started talking, and then he tells me that, oh, I don't tell anybody. I've never told anybody this, is what he said. I've never told anybody this. Or he might have said, I'm sorry, I've been getting struck with coughing. I've never told anybody this, or he might have said, I very rarely tell anybody this. But I'm a minister, he says. And honestly, I'm not judging him. I have a weird feeling about that. I don't know if he is. I haven't got acknowledgement on that because I really haven't prayed about it yet because it was like, just one of the millions of things that's happened over the last few weeks. But he's been showing up 3 times now at 3 different bars that I went to. He's showed up. Within me getting there and about 5 to 10 minutes later, this man shows up. So I know he has something to do with the gangs talking, but I almost started thinking maybe he's actually one of my protectors. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, last night after I saw my ex-boyfriend, walk by with a girl after he said he didn't have a girlfriend, didn't want to be with anybody. So that really hurt me. So, but then Satan's got to send more people in to like finish the job, right? Oh, get her. She's already down. Suck her some more. And so then this girl shows up and she looks a lot like my best friend that died that I talked about that was shot in the head, Lynn Venus. She's an awesome, awesome, awesome person. But anyway, she comes and then she told me, hey, come sit down. Your friend just left, because then the man I told you that I was there with ended up leaving. And it was right after, it was like instantly, as soon as after he saw me see my boyfriend, and I said that was my ex-boyfriend. Then he's like, I gotta go. It was so weird. That's why I have a feeling he was sent to have me see that. But God used it for my good. Ha ha ha, Satan. God used it for my good. But so she befriended me, and I thought, oh wow, I finally got a friend. And that's funny because they sent somebody that resembled Lynn, but I had a weird feeling about her. But I was still I'd been drinking a little bit, so my sixth sense isn't as strong, but I still was feeling like something wasn't right. And I think she was definitely like probably a high priestess, some sort of a witch. I'm not sure exactly how high up she was, but she was good. She started smooth talking and talking about all this stuff, but it was in a roundabout way. And at first I was like kind of open to it because she was spreading about love and joy, but she was taking the Lord and Jesus Christ out of the equation. And then as she started drinking more, the truth came out. And she definitely was not one of the saints. I'll just put it that way. She was there to lead me astray, and that was one of my testings, and I passed it last night. I passed the test last night. But yeah, she said she was sitting there, and then she was asking me what I believed and all this stuff out of the blue. And of course I want to talk about it, and then she's like, well, this isn't really this. And well, who do you pray to? And I said, the Lord. She goes, the Lord? That's a strong word. What Lord? I said, the one true God, the one true God, the Lord. And I said, I believe in Jesus Christ. And she goes, well, that's a really strong statement, saying the Lord. That's a bigger Lord than the one I believe in, like that. So that was kind of letting me know she didn't believe in the one true God. She believed in the fallen one. That's their Lord. And that's how sneaky the Satanists were. They'll say, yeah, we believe in the Lord. Their Lord, Satan. That's their Lord. So that was kind of interesting thinking about on that. And then she tried to tempt me. The older man that was very rich, I mean, he carried himself very rich. I don't know if he was, but I'm pretty sure he was, showed up. It was, I'd say, about 10 to 15 minutes after the man that I came there with left, after my boyfriend had appeared. So then she's working on me, and he shows up, and he sits down next to us. And there's only one other table outside, but there's a bunch of tables inside. And why he would sit outside with no drink or anything, just sat down and was sitting at the table next to me and the girl and one of her friends. And anyway, he's looking over and everything, and then I told her, I said, that man shows up everywhere. Actually, I think it's 4 times now I think about it. 4 times. A restaurant, and now 3 bars. This was a restaurant bar. 4 times now in the past 2 weeks, since my attacks have been really, really bad and I went back to drinking. The same man has shown up. And this will be places all over town. It's not on the same strip. It's not like next door to each other. It's like a couple of them are mile this way, a mile that way, and there he is. And it's always within about 10, 15 minutes after I get there. Now, this time it was a little longer because that man was still there. When that man left and my boyfriend had left, ex-boyfriend, that's when he showed up. And he's listening and everything, and I told her that, and then she said, "Oh, you could get him." She goes, "You're pretty. You don't want someone? I know he's a little older. You told me your ex-boyfriend was a lot younger than you." And I said, I don't care about age. It's your spirit. I said, but I don't want anybody. I said, I'm just sick of it. And I just want to focus on the Lord. She didn't like that at all. She's like, yeah, but you won't have to work. You don't have to worry about anything. It was just like what Satan would say. It's amazing thinking of this just now. It's just like what Satan would say to Jesus. Look, I'll give you all this. All this could be yours. You could be rich. Just follow me. And that's what that girl was trying to do. And she's like telling me, well, he must like you. He keeps showing up everywhere. I guarantee you he's got a lot of money, and they probably knew each other. That's how he shows up. She probably called him. Or one of, they're all connected, but that's irrelevant. But she said, you probably wouldn't have to work. I can tell he likes you. He keeps looking over at you, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want that. And then she was like trying to throw the age thing and, oh, you want somebody younger. And I'm like, no, I don't want anybody. And I don't care about age. I don't see that. I look at the heart, but I'm not even looking for anybody. And then she said, but you won't have to work anymore. You could just hang out, and I guarantee he'll probably buy you a car, and just telling me all these weird things. And I just looked at her for like the fourth time. I said, I don't want that. I could care less about money. And she went, well, that didn't work. She says to her friend right in my face, well, that didn't work. I'm thinking, why in the world are you trying to get me to do that? But it was the enemy working through her, and I see that today. Then she tried to get me with sex. I kid you not. This happened in about a 30-minute conversation. And then she goes, well, when's the last time you've been with anybody? And I was like, wow, that's kind of a blunt question. And I said, well, I don't need to do that. I said, she goes, you don't like sex? And I go, well, of course, but I don't need to do that. And I feel guided not to, and not to be intimate with anybody. And she goes, how long have you gone? Well, a week. I said, well, this time it was, not that long, but I've been 2.5 years before. And she goes, you're going to put yourself into early menopause. So then she's trying to put fear in me, right? I just laughed. I go, I don't care. And so she goes, well, that didn't work. She says to her friend again. I'm like, this is getting creepy. Then she got into really started to get a little bit weird. And that's when her friend, who was a dude, said, oh, come on in here. I got to get a drink. Come on back in. So, sorry, I got an itchy eye. So they both get up, and they said they'll be right back out. That's when the other man said, hey, come over here. And I was like, I know you. I see you everywhere. And then we started talking. I can't remember what we were talking about, but out of the blue, he took his glasses down like this, and he went, when are you going to get your act together? He didn't even know me. I've only talked to the man one time. The other few times that I've seen him out, I didn't talk to him. I was hanging out with people. And I would see him staring at me at the end of the bar, one time in a restaurant. He goes, when are you going to get your act together? And I started crying. I said, I know I shouldn't be drinking. I shouldn't be doing this. I said, I'm very hurt about my ex-boyfriend. I really did love him. And, all these attacks, I'm having one attack after another, and I'm just really worn out. And tears are boom, coming all out in public. That's how really sad and depressed I've been. And I'm not like this normally. And so he said, I said, I just don't feel like there's anybody like me left. He goes, there's no one like you. And I went, well, thank you for that. He goes, and you're right. There's no one around here anyway left like you. Just matter of fact. And I know he was meaning spiritually. I know he was. So that was kind of like God's confirmation. Look, you're called out. You're called out of the world. Every time you go back into the world, you're going to get stomped more and more and more. And I kept thinking, well, I'm doing good because I'm out here witnessing while I'm drinking in a bar. No, I'm not. We're not supposed to be in the enemy's camp doing what they're doing. We're supposed to stand out and be a light. So, okay, now that I got that over with, I have a few things I wanted to talk about. Another time I was at a bar, and two ladies were sitting across from me. They kept looking at me. Wherever I go, it's like everybody like turns and looks. Like, seriously, really? It's like there's so many beautiful women in this city, and I'm like, why is everybody looking at me? I really believe it's because it's God's light. But Satan's trying to put us out, saints. He wants us out of here. And we're in the 40 days in the wilderness. So I'm in there, and then this lady looks over, and then she was talking to me about my dog, which is their way in, because they know that's like something I care about. And Satan always attacks things we care about, right? And then, anyway, she just started talking about, religion and stuff out of the blue. And I knew this was like another test. Then she tried to lead me away on a different route, not being as blunt, like with the sex talk and all that, but saying, oh, well, what do you think about Joel Osteen? And I said, well, I actually met him before. I used to go to his church in Houston a long time ago. And I said, but, the Lord has shown me that it's not true prophet. She goes, well, I really like Joel Osteen. Yeah, we watch him all the time or whatever. And I knew that was just stay away from that because she wasn't there yet. But I don't even think she was actually a believer. Just some weird things were happening with that conversation. I can't remember all of it. It's irrelevant. But I said, I know that. She goes, well, if you're targeted, because then I told her I was a TI and I'm going through a lot of stuff. She's asking, where do I live? About doing my house. What are men being real nosy? And, I said, I know that God's got my back no matter what. Even if I'm homeless, he's protected me, and I have been homeless. She's like, for how long? And I said, off and on for a couple of years before. I said, but he always had my back. And it wouldn't be 2 years in a row. It'd be like a week or two here, and but still. And then she was trying to lead me to basically kind of like it's a false religion, kind of new age. So that was another attack. And then I said, I know the one true God. That's who, I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and he's coming back soon. Right after I said that, kid you not, the song by Journey, which interestingly enough was my best friend, who again, they killed, Lynn. It was her favorite song. She used to sing it all the time at karaoke. It was, as soon as I said, I believe in Jesus Christ, he's coming back soon, the song, Don't Stop Believing by Journey came on, and I said, that's God right there. I said, he is awesome like that. Boy, they did not like that. She said, well, it was nice meeting you, friend. Like that. We're all like, and they got up and left right after that. So that was like another attack. I'm noticing these are actually spiritual attacks that are coming from people, whether they know it or not. They're sent there by the enemy to do these things and get us to lose our crown. So praise the Lord, I'm still here. But getting back to the date, Sarah ForthCalling said January 26th, and I thought about it. I moved out of my boyfriend's on the 15th, and about a week and a half later is when my attacks have been horrendous. And I said they've been going on for about a month. And it's not quite a month, I don't think, but it's like been like around 25 days or something like that. So that would put it right at that date. And then she's saying we're in the wilderness and our testing should be ending around March 6th. So I really believe that. I think that is like just shed a new light on why this is so bad, so tough this time, and non-stop. I don't even get peace in my dreams. I have all kinds of witchcraft, satanic attacks in almost every dream now. But anyway, what else was I going to say? I was also going to say I keep getting led to the book of Job. And Yeah, basically that's it. The book of Job is what I've been getting led to. And I just wanted to give all y'all comfort out there that God pulled me out of this depression, whatever it is. And I appreciate the few comments I did get. I know they're blocking my videos. I know they are, because as soon as I uploaded the first one, I hadn't been online. And I mean, I got online a couple times, but I couldn't post anything for like almost 2 months. I thought it'd been a month. It's been almost 2 months. And the first one that I uploaded, I guess they didn't get to it fast enough, the enemy. And so like 3 or 4 people commented, and there was like 28 views in like an hour. And now all of a sudden, no comments on any of the videos, and one view, maybe one view, and like almost, since 1 o'clock today, and now it's almost 8. Actually, it is 8. Wow, I've been talking that long. I got a big mouth. All right. I just wanted to give y'all hope and encouragement, and stay strong, y'all. That's what's going on. We're in the wilderness, saints. This is for y'all. Amen, brother. I'm out.